head of communications for Azuri, which is this massive project that you can see behind you, and the development of the marina. So at her age, to be in that kind of position, she really does know what she's talking about.
If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be staying through the CV workshop as well. So if you do want some career development advisory, just to have someone to chat with that really will just give you some notes and anything, you can come while we're waiting for Joanna to go through your CVs with you. But
globally, women are not paid as much. And even though over the last 10, 20, 30 years it's gotten better, we still have a very, very, very long way to go. So this is a global issue. So forget Nigeria, right? In Nigeria, it's even worse, okay? Careers up until they get married and then they have children and then they come out and and by the time they come back, all their counterparts have been promoted. So this is why we're putting a strong focus on women. Something I always tell my friends is work like a man. If it was a man in this situation, how would they behave? How would they be treated? Oprah herself said that when she first started in TV, her co-worker who did the exact same job as her was paid more, and when she asked her boss, why is he being paid more than me? I want to get paid the same. He said, what do you need the money for? In Nigeria, it's 10, 100 times worse. So imagine in America, your boss saying to you, why do you need the money? He has a wife, he has kids. A lot of people still have that mentality there. So when I was in secondary school, I first got my first job. I worked in a shoe shop. And a friend of mine got a better job in another shop. And as soon as they were hiring, she was like, come to Nula, because Nula pays better. So left Barrett's, went to Nula, and this was in the small area that I lived. I worked there till I finished secondary school, and then I moved to London to go to uni. I got a job in the Nula in London, in Marble Arch. So if I'm working part-time in retail, I want to work in the best retail place. So what's the best retail place? Harrods or Selfridges. And the first time I walked into the store was the first day working in Harrods. A lot of my co-workers were graduates. I worked with an architect who had graduated and couldn't get a job in London and was working in retail on the shop floor with me. I had to basically scrap all of that and focus on uni. And whilst doing that, I actually was able to get an internship at one of the largest real estate companies in the world. My degree is and basically you can imagine the jump. Retail, 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 and then all of a sudden you're working in the corporate world. If I did a list of all the jobs that I've worked, it would go on and on and on. So I've gone running through at uni, trying to make money. I've given out leaflets. I've worked in a beer festival, like sticking my hand in a barrel and bringing out beer. But I don't want to sell you a dream of life being bish bash bosh and then you grow and then you grow. It's not like that. Sometimes you go backwards, sometimes you go forwards. So the average person looking at your CV will decide in the first 10 seconds if they even think your CV is worthwhile or not. They actually really don't care about you at this point. They don't know you, they're not your friend, they're not your family. They just want to know, what are you going to give me? Please can tell when you've just given them a generic CV. So you want to make sure the person reading your CV knows that this CV was written for this job role. Not that you've made the same CV and you're sending it across the board to everyone. You could have been number 2 on the pile, and then you've called 3 times to chase up the situation, and then you dropped off the list of even people that we want to hire because they've now found you irritating. Whereas you're probably just being enthusiastic and you really want the job, but that's not how they're going to see it. They're just going to see it as an irritating thing. So make sure you don't pester the people that you're working for. So just to dive into what should be on your CV, personal details which goes at the top. Put your LinkedIn on your CV. Your LinkedIn is basically the social media version of your CV. If it wasn't for the other things in the interview, we would not have hired you based on your LinkedIn. The opening line of my CV is experience in global occupiers has prepared me for. So I see the kind of language that Shell uses to talk about what they do. Don't ever write on your CV that you want to gain experience. But it wasn't the #1 university for the course I did. It was the #2 university. Reading was the #1 university. Twist everything to work in your favor. You don't want to write available and request on your CV. You're very good at this, or Joanna does this, or Joanna does that. It's a little quote there. Find what you like doing the best and find someone that will pay you for doing it. You found that special thing about you and you know nobody else can come to it when it comes to that particular next place. Even in your job now, you should know, okay, what's the maximum I'm going to grow in this company? Because people that had gone to do masters were in the same internship as me. They'd finished, graduated, paid for a master's, and came to the same company, and me that I'm not even finished, we're stuck at the same ground zero. If I hadn't done that internship and been given that knowledge, I would have gone to do a master's, and the master's wouldn't have benefited me at all. If you haven't studied finance, they're not interested. It's like when I was trying to be a model, and they said, don't even apply if you're not 5'9". Just gone through the door, and they're like, but you're not 5'9", so bye. Do you know what I mean? Reading online saved me that whole headache. So I was like, okay, I'm not 5'9", I'm not going to be able to get into a professional agency. What do I do? Okay, let's look at other ways to get into the industry. Or adapt your plan. And we always have to adapt our plans, because when we were at school, a lot of the jobs that are available now they didn't even exist. Our fathers and our mothers did the basic standard jobs. And in the next 5-10 years, there's going to be a whole new set of jobs that don't exist today. In different industries to see what do they look for in CVs. And he also mentioned a few critical seconds, which just goes back to that thing I said earlier about people will decide in the first 10 seconds if they want to take you on or not. I also spoke to Choma from Good Hair. She talked about layout, she talked about experience. Is the experience you have matching up to the job you're applying for in one job, and then jump to another job, and then jump to another job, and then jump to another job. That doesn't read well on your CV. People actually don't like people who have job jumps. Because what's a healthy amount of time in a 9-to-5 job might not be a healthy amount of time in the PR or showbiz or entertainment world. I asked my friend Ifona from Genevieve magazine, and she says she needs people that are reliable and people who are problem solvers. You know, I'm thinking of opening, and people tell you they know someone, none of those will be dead ends. But if one of those lands you your dream job, that's all that matters, and it will change your life. So always be ready to adapt your plan, change, figure out what companies what companies want. Google alone has 1 million CVs sent to them a year, 1 million. So if you're thinking you're going to work at Google and you're like, okay, let me go and work in this small firm and work my way up. Do you know what? So push yourself for those top roles. If you're interested in a field, what's the top position in that field? You have to be like, this is the step, this is the step, this is the step. And as she said, start saying it. I'm a millionaire. There's so much power in what you say. I'm a millionaire, I'm an architect, I'm a designer, I'm in PR, or if you're in PR, who said they're in PR? Okay? Okay, you had a question.
Yes. So I wanted to say, your CV is like something that's written, but basically I've gone for some certain interviews and they don't get to look at my CV. They tell me to escalate myself, tell me about yourself, and Nigerians can be little like quirky because they feel like it's just paper. People have taken advantage of the fact that there are not face-to-face interviews and you just apply, you get the job through your CV. Yeah. So how do you articulate yourself in the right that would match your CV? How do you match your CV?
Okay. When you walk into an interview, you want to make sure that you know everything. Every dirty little thing there is to know about this company. You need to know it. I read their whole website, their webpage. I had read every single line and I felt like I was prepared. Then they said, there's a big thing happening in this company. Do you know what it is? We're uncertain and nervous when we're not prepared. The more prepared you are, the more flawless it's going to come across, and try to make eye contact with the people that you're speaking to in an interview. It's really, really important. You want to like grab them and suck them into what you're saying. Something you don't know, or you're confused, or you're lost, simplify what you're saying. Sometimes we try to like add grammar and say this and add and try and say too much, and then we just get confused and it throws us off. So if you find yourself like getting stuck or stumbling, calm down and just go back to being simple and saying simple sentences and answering them in a very basic, simple way. And then you can now start, adding and opening up. It makes you calm down, it makes you more comfortable, and then you can start building yourself up back to selling yourself. Sometimes we want to quickly oversell ourselves at the beginning and just say everything to wow them, and then we get tongue-tied and we get choked up and we're embarrassed, we start going inside ourselves. So start simple, start steady, and allow them to lead you in the conversation. Try not to shove too much stuff down their throat. Very polite, very respectful, gets you a long way in Nigeria. okay? In Nigeria, it's a big thing. It might not rub off well with that person because you don't know the person's personality. So it's better just to go in there and be polite, be nice, overdo the politeness. This is Africa, and that means so much to so many people here.
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to ask, apart from you having the regular 9 to 5 in your CV, your work experience, do you think it's a good idea to add like your consultations? And if you think so, how would you add it to your CV?
Okay. So I have a model CV and I have a real estate CV. And when I worked in retail, I had a retail CV. And one time I was trying to go into oil and gas because everybody says go into oil and gas in Nigeria, that's where the money is. So I had an oil and gas CV. So you want to have multiple versions of your CV. If you feel like your consulting adds value to the job role that you're...
If it matches with what I do.
Yeah, if it adds value. Remember, it's always about adding value.
I beat the targets that we have been set. These are the kind of things that you want to be writing in your CV. And after this, I am going to go through and literally sit down with you guys in groups and kind of go through your CVs to figure out how we can paraphrase what you already have and make it just that bit better.
The job description and your CV on 2 different screens and see and try and match the things, find the gaps, and if there are gaps, try and do those things in life. Okay, so already I think I've given you guys some things that you might want to start looking at your CV and the empty template and maybe adapting things. And I'm going to come around one by one and kind of interact with you guys and go through it.
Structure. I had to communicate with a wide audience or with a specific target audience for the brand that I was working with at the time. And then if you said content lead and creator and then manage social media campaigns, find the best way or put these two together in one point. And it's all about what you can give rather than what you're looking to gain.
But it's just very, very difficult in this day and age to not have a focus or have a direction. We don't want to be direction